Hello Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. This is your tarot reading for the week ahead whenever you're finding this. If you're watching along as I post because you're subscribed, this is for the week of September 22nd through the 28th, 2025. So Cancer, what is in store for you this week? Leave a comment. How are you guys doing? Just generally speaking. How are you guys doing? How has September been for you? I really want to know. First card out for you is emotion/intellect, and it's coming out in reverse, okay? So Cancer, this week may be asking you to balance your emotions with your intellect. There could be some sort of challenge going on there where, like, there could be some areas of life where you're viewing things overly intellectually and you may feel a little bit cut off from emotions. And then there could be other areas of your life where it's the opposite, where you're overly involved in your emotions and under-involved in your intellect. So I feel like that theme, like that scale of balance, is really going to come through this week in some way, shape, or form. And if it's already coming through, let me know. Oh, look at that. Queen of Water in reverse right next to that. Guys, this is your feminine energy. And even has the crab here, so this is really your card. And this little moon symbol here reminds me of Hecate, the goddess of magic and many other things. So some of you guys, if you are into deity work, you may want to call out to Hecate or any lunar goddess as well, which is very just... You are a moon child if you're a Cancerian placement, a strong Cancerian placement. So yeah, we see you connecting to the moon. There's something here though, the Queen of Water in reverse, guys. This can be feeling like your feminine energies, your yin energies need a little bit of attention right now, okay? If I were Cancer, which I am, this week, I would really focus on doing affirmations such as, show me how easy life can be. Life can be so easy. Love is so abundant and easy to come by. It is so easy. I just make money without even thinking about it. You know, that's the yin energy, like having blessings and abundance just flow to you. You know, if you're into tarot, think of the Empress card, okay? She is sitting down and everything around her just blossoms and blooms. You don't need to do anything, really, in order to find food. If you're connected to nature, it just grows. You know, just go in the woods, it just grows. There's food for you right there. All you have to do is relax and just trust in the abundance of Mother Earth. So some of you guys may feel very far removed from that trust and far removed from the feeling. Remember when you were a baby, when you were a toddler, a child, and it's like every problem you would encounter, you would just go to your parent and they would just solve it for you. That feeling of just like totally enjoying the lack of responsibility and just allowing yourself to play without feeling the stress of like, when am I going to pay the bills? What am I going to eat this week? Was like, you know, that stress of just adulthood, responsibility. There's something here where it feels like the universe, spirit, is wanting you to tap back into that feeling of what it's like to not have to worry about those things. To not have to stress out so much, to not have to force, to not have to chase, you know? And when you're deep in that lack mindset, when you're deep into that survival mode, it can cause you to act out as the Queen of Water in reverse, which is manipulative, controlling. It's like, for example, let's just say you're talking to somebody, you're dating, and it's like you're trying to control their feelings, control the narrative. And so you might play like a hot and cold game, you know, one minute you're really into it, the next minute you're very cold, instead of just being direct, you know, because, and the subconscious reasoning behind that is because a fear of abandonment. But that abandonment fear isn't necessarily the fear that, you know, they're not going to be here tomorrow or your food's not going to be here tomorrow. It could be, you know, especially if you have a childhood where things were not always promised, things were not always guaranteed. You know, one day you might have affection, the next day you might not. One day there might be food in the fridge, the next day there might not. One day you might have an active parent, the next day you might not. And so, I don't know, there's something here about like, there was some form of inconsistent love and basic needs being met at some point in your life that may have caused an abandonment wound within you. That abandonment wound within your adult life, it's not necessarily a fear of other people being abandoned, it's the fear of you abandoning yourself. And focusing so much on chasing love, on chasing money, on chasing whatever, that you completely lose yourself in the process. And we've all been there, losing ourselves in certain relationships, losing ourselves in certain addictions, and then breaking free from those cycles and finding ourselves again and realizing, oh my gosh, I am peaceful. I am actually the light and the love to begin with. And it's within my own routine, within my own alone time, that I'm actually quite powerful. I don't know. Lots of philosophical things going on. We have love. Love and relationship success may be quite abundant for Cancerian energy this week for sure. I do feel that strongly. And look, we have the moon coming out again. Yeah, Mama Moon may be blessing you with lots of love. There could be an abundance of love potential and opportunity in your life. Lots of potential friends, potential partners, things like that. It definitely feels like love is in the air. I'm kind of feeling this fear, like you're not wanting to slip back into losing yourself again, okay? And you're not wanting to slip back into sort of, becoming obsessive, if that makes sense. We have the 10 of Fire in reverse here. Oop. And this is what it looks like upright. Look, all of the chakras are here in alignment. Beautiful flames moving out of him. I see here there's a totem pole in the background. And on the totem pole, it looks like, I don't know what that is. Is that a bear, a horse, a snake, a wolf, and an eagle? So those spirit animals may be very meaningful to you. The horse in particular stands out to me. I've been noticing horse symbolism a lot recently, which represents being seen, being successful, as well as having the stamina to achieve your long-term goals, okay? So if there's anything in life that you've been working on for a really long time, just waiting for that success, I feel like that success is going to start coming through. Specifically with the 10 of Fire in reverse, I feel like success is going to find you, especially in the career and business and financial front, when you're just at that point where it's like you truly are maxed out time-wise, okay, and energy-wise. Now, there's a message here, though. You need to change an internal belief, Cancer. You may carry an internal belief that in order to be successful, you have to be working really, really hard. And that's why I'm saying this week, like the biggest mantra you can do for yourself this week is show me how easy it can be. Show me how easy it can be to be a millionaire. Show me how easy it is to manifest beautiful, loving relationships and friendships. Show me how easy it is to fill in the blank, whatever it is. Life can be easy. Life is easy. Life is easy. Life is easy. Just keep repeating that until it really seeps into your subconscious mind and into your bones. And look for proof, look for evidence of that ease everywhere. Oh, well, this is easy, that's easy. This happened without me even trying. There you go. Here's something I manifested without even trying. That's how easy life is. Look for that everywhere, because 10 of Fire in reverse, this is like borderline overburdening yourself with work and responsibility. Yeah, and it's like you don't have to do that. It reminds me of the phrase work smarter, not harder. We have the Father coming out in reverse. Okay. So some of you guys may be working through some father wounds here. Capricorn energy may be significant. Aries energy might be significant. The Father in reverse. I feel like you are learning to be self-reliant. There's something here about reparenting yourself and having boundaries. There's something important about saying no this week. No. Okay, somebody may be trying to rely upon you as if you're a parent of some sort. So you may have like a friend or something coming in and asking you for favors. Or you may feel like they're sort of overly depending upon you, either socially or responsibly, whatever it may be. And you might not really want that extra responsibility in your life. There's something that I'm picking up on, Cancer, about not wanting to take on extra responsibility because you're finally enjoying what life is like when you're just sort of focusing on yourself. And that feeling is something that has been missing for a really long time. And it's I'm getting a vision here of like you're wanting to stay in that feeling for longer, even though there are some beautiful social and love opportunities around you. Does that make sense? So it's like you might be just enjoying the relationship and friendship prospects that surround you at this time, but there's like no chasing whatsoever. There is no rushing into things. In fact, for once in your life, Cancer, you may be wanting to take things slow because you've been really enjoying your alone time, enjoying your life. And it's like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You're not forcing any conversation. You're not trying to force chemistry. Like, if there's no chemistry, you're not going after it. You know what I mean? It's like, if it's easy, if it feels good, if it feels right, then heck yeah. And if it doesn't, then I'm not investing time into it. And so I am seeing, Cancer, for some of you guys, you may be sort of releasing some feelings of like trying to force a connection to happen, or you may be letting go of any newer friendship or somebody that you're dating or something like that if it just doesn't really flow smoothly. Does that make sense? But you're definitely keeping the smooth flowing ones in your life, essentially, you know. Something that I'm seeing with that though, if you're letting someone go, let them know. Okay, just let them know. Be very straightforward with it. That's the number one thing, because Cancer, I'm going to be so real with you. You may accidentally turn into somebody who you hate this week if you do that, you know? Like, you may be vehemently against people who like play hot and cold games and who just aren't direct, you know? Don't be that person yourself, okay? If you're not into somebody, tell them that you're not into them. If you are not wanting to go somewhere, you're not wanting to do a favor for somebody, tell them that. Don't like leave them hanging and guessing, okay? That's my number one piece of advice for you, Cancer. I don't want you racking up any bad karma on accident, okay? So be very direct. If you're not feeling something, just be so direct with that person. Give them the closure that they need, okay? There's something there with that. And then we have the 10 of Earth. Wow. And look at that imagery. The mask is coming off. And this shows like when you're authentically you and you don't care if people judge you or not, and you just really put yourself and your ideas out there, even if you're afraid, it usually does lead to a lot of financial success, commitment, and abundance. I'm telling you guys, like, especially if you have your own business, marketing yourself can be so scary. Okay, putting your true thoughts and feelings and opinions out there can be so scary, but there's something here about showing the world the real you and doing so every single day and showing up every day and putting your ideas, your thoughts out there, just being yourself, sharing more of your life publicly. That's what I'm seeing. You're sharing more of your life publicly, and that is what is attracting lots of social opportunities towards you. And that's also going to be attracting money, okay, and career growth and opportunity. You just showing up and being yourself, because of networking and marketing and things like that. Like, you really are just overcoming your fear of being seen this week, and as a result of overcoming that fear of being seen, you're going to be seen. You know, you're putting yourself out there on a daily basis. Okay, something about social media may also be important for some of you. Sharing your life on social media every day. It could be delightful. You know, people who want to be your friend may reach out to you. People who really resonate with your messages, with your story, they'll reach out to you. It's just such an effective way to connect with community, with your soul tribe. It's through authenticity and speaking up, speaking out. You know, when somebody says, oh, how's your day going? Don't just say, good, how's yours? You know, actually answer them. Well, here's what's happening in my day. Here's what's been going on in my life recently. But yeah, what's going on in your life? You know what I mean? So it's like when you really just let yourself be seen, you will be seen. And there's something very strong about that. And that's going to call in so many soulmates as well. Oh my gosh. And soulmates don't just come through romantically. Soulmates also deal with like your soulmate clients and customers, your soulmate friendships and family and everything. So it's just beautiful. Wow. Very loving, prosperous week, Cancer. As I mentioned, make sure that you don't take on the attachment style of your father. I don't know why that's significant. All right, if you're not into someone, if you're not into something, or you don't want to do something, say that. Don't be hot and cold, and don't be inconsistent. Treat others the way that you want to be treated. Yeah, it's actually very rare that I give Cancer energy messages like this, like, don't be a scumbag. I don't think you're doing it intentionally, though. It's like if you find yourself quite busy, for example, and you know that somebody's like more interested in you than you are in them, just be direct with them. Don't leave them hanging. Don't leave them guessing. And it's like, don't leave them in a state of anxiety, and you may be thinking, well, that's not really my responsibility. Yeah, but it's just a nice thing to do, let somebody down gently, and really don't cause anyone distress if you can. Okay, thank you guys. I love you so much. Watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of this week ahead. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe if you have not already. And if you have not downloaded my free tarot ebook, what are you doing? It's a completely free full ebook that gives you all of the tarot card meanings upright and in reverse, as well as in different types of readings. So go check it out. Bye-bye.